Perfect. Okay, so we are here for our installment of our portfolio review sponsored by Gallery 51 and Berkshire Cultural Resource Center here at the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts. And I am so pleased to have with us today Maurizzio Pineda. And we have a little bit of history. We go back and we have worked together in the past in California. So it's so lovely to have you here with us, Maurizzio. Maurizzio, there are a couple of things that we talk about in this particular segment to really help artists to see, or to gain a little bit more transparency about navigating the art world. And I think what is most valuable to our artists, in addition to the critique and feedback that you give them, is a little bit of insight as to how you work and you navigate the art world when you're looking for artists. So I just have a couple of questions to ask you, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course.
The first one is, when you are looking for artists and you do these studio visits, these portfolio reviews, what role do these play for you as a gallerist, as a curator? The studio visit and a portfolio view, how does that help you in the work that you do?
Well, it's one of the most, I would just say, like, the most exciting things that I get to do. And like being able, like when an artist says like it's okay to come into your studio or their studio, it's this a special moment. And what I'm looking at or trying to listen is to see how they've developed their practice. But at the same time, it's like this, when I'm in there with them and just seeing, you know, the marks on the floor, the marks on the walls, the things on their desktop, I just start to just investigate, and it just, then you start this relationship with the artist and the studio that you're visiting. So it's this natural thing that happens, you know, when you connect and you see something and you're like, okay, I want to keep questions and asking the artists more about who they are and where their practice comes from. So I guess that's is not a super academic answer, but that's just how when I approach a studio visit, that's just how it is.
Right. So you're looking for a real introduction. Yeah, to understand.
Yeah.
And what is it that you are seeking when you do a studio visit or are looking at someone's portfolio? What are you looking for?
Erica, I would have to say, just like when we first met, like a story, like this like connection where you're like, I want to follow this story. Like when we met, you know, it's just like we just, like, there was something like we both knew we had stories to share with each other. And that's the connection that I'm trying with the artists that I work with, is that, like, I just want to have that connection and follow their story, because I have a story as a curator, right? I think that, you know, curator is a storyteller, at least for me, my practice. So that, in that sense, again, just like that, follow it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to artists looking to advance their careers, whether it be strengthening their work or looking for gallery representation? What would be the best advice you could offer?
I would have to use the words of Carlos Villa: make shit tight. Like just keep it tight, like work hard at what you're doing. I mean, Carlos Villa's like, that's my mentor, and when he said it, like, keep shit tight, you know, just keep it tight. Just keep going. Keep it. Just, you know, don't slow down. Just, you know, it's a tough. I mean, I guess I will do another. I would say one other thing that another professor taught me was that, you know, Enrique Chigora, like he said, he's like, look, like being successful in art, it's like winning the lottery. And if you're trying to do the art world thing because you want to be successful, by the time you're done with it, you're not going to trust anyone. And to me, I've always like that's, you know, when I read that in 1999, I was like, yeah, you're like, okay, I'll keep those two, you know, those two big words, or, you know, those sentiments, like, do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you want to be, like, if you want to be famous, go and just be famous. But if you're doing it because you want to make work, then just be happy with that. And whatever happens, happens.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I've lived my career as a curate, like artist, then curator. I just kind of just been like, hey, just do what you have to do. You know, like just hustle. Thank you for the platform that you just gave me.